guys. Hello my dear Flespy curious YouTube watchers. Today we have a first stream about Flespy. And I will start from explaining some Flespy concepts in show and tell mode, starting from something very fundamental and then going further for something more complex and special, using some pre-configured instances on in my Flespy account. So you may hit like button for this video, because if you don't, we will have no further streams. You may also ask your questions like somewhere here or maybe here. I'm not a professional YouTuber, so in the chat for this YouTube video, I will address them in the end, after we cover all the material. And I think that's pretty it. We can start. So if you are not a GPS tracker but a human, then your entry to Flespy panel starts from flespy.io website. Not everybody knows, but here we also have a link for documentation and the forum, where we have change logs, and our users can create topics to ask for questions. But we'll explore like the path how our users go into Flespy panel. First, you can log in via some of your social networks, or with the token with one click, or with email. But I have to mention that the most underrated tool to login is login by token. So here you may click and insert your token. Token is a 64 character string. And for example, how do I log in? I just have a bookmark that is in the view like flespy.io/hashtag/token/token value. So in one click, I can log into the panel. And here at the tokens, we may see all the tokens that belong to my account. It's not only the easy way to log into the panel, it is also a tool to share access. For example, you have a teammate and you want them to access the panel. So you may create a standard token for them. So a standard token has access to the whole panel in read and write mode, but without the rights to create another tokens. Using this token, they can log in the same way. Or, for example, you have a contractor that has to have like read-only access for some certain device, or you want to share access to the device manufacturer that you have problems with. So you can create ACL token, access control level token, for the exact only one device for read-only mode. And by using this token, here is the link, the same link. If we log into the panel in this way, we will not see any channels, any streams. There will be only access to one certain device. And even if your contractor will try to change something, this section will be not permitted by XCL. So it's read-only access. Okay, yeah, you might say that, Jan, only 2 minutes of the stream has passed and we already knew so many interesting information. Wait for it, this is only the beginning. So what we also see when we log into the panel, the main screen, when you click on Flespy panel here at the top left corner, you will see the dashboard, and by hovering on some stuff, you might see some tooltips, like for example, the total storage for the devices, or the API calls usage, or the instances that you have. You may have even create some instance from here. Let's investigate the left bar on this left corner. Here we see the free sign that I don't pay for Flespy. I don't have to, I'm developer. But if I click on it, I will see the form to upgrade if you need to upgrade your account from free to commercial one. which we expect all of our users to do once they complete proof of concept project. But it's okay to use Flaspi in free mode once you test it or develop proof of concept project. Next, what we see if we click on my name here or on preferences here, we will see some tools to set up our panel. For example, change some colors, I prefer gray one, or enable, disable some extra features, or change email, change password, or specify your company name. So we will treat you as some pretty valuable customer and give you more support because you represent some huge enterprise, or not, because we treat all customers equally and all people deserve the best support. To the word about the support, at the top right corner we have chat button, which if you click and ask for help, somebody, for example the CEO of our company, will answer like, hi, how can I help you? That's pretty impressive, I think. So yeah, the best way to achieve support is through this chat button. Okay, we will not explore further what we have here. You may explore by yourself. You just need to know that this is clickable and you can tune it. The next interesting stuff is about the profiles. So for example, you have some project where you need to have some access for certain instances. So you create a profile for this project and you can tune it. For example, you need to have access for certain devices. So you switch to configuration mode, save it, and in this mode, in this profile, you have 2 devices. In this profile, you have all devices. So this is just UI tool. It doesn't limit any access. It's just made for your convenience. So you will quickly switch between different instances. And another options that we have here to quickly find some devices. For example, you have a huge project with 50,000 devices, and once you open this devices list, even simplified list will take some time to load. Here, of course, you may find the desired item by ID or by IMEI, but if you don't want to wait until all the list will load and you just know the ID of the device you need to open, you can click on this open tab, specify item type device, paste the ID, and search for a certain device. It will be instantly opened. Okay, let's move further. Here we have some links to the articles that we expect you to read. For example, this is linked to our knowledge base, but we may disable it because who needs knowledge base when we have Jan Bartnitsky that will explain you everything in live YouTube video. Okay, let's go further. Favorites tab. So if we hide everything, we just see on the favorites tab. We usually work with devices, and maybe, for example, we need also channels to be here. So we click on the edit of favorites tab and add channels there, and we will have channels in our favorites tab, or we don't need it. Again, some tools to make your life a bit simpler. Another upgrade button, so you will never miss it. We will explore the instances from Telematics Hub a bit further, and the utils a little bit further too. So what else do we have here? Some access management stuff. And by the way, what I also didn't mention about the token, that's pretty useful stuff to mention too, is that, let's get back to the token. The token that I use to log in to access to a certain device, every access to Flaspi leaves a footprint, which you can explore in the platform logs. So for example, you have shared the access to somebody and you want to check if this access had been used or not. You can get to platform logs, insert token ID equals the ID of a token, and you will see all the requests that have been made and how did they open, like this panel. It means that they open the panel. This means that they open logs and messages tab of certain device. So every request they made, every session they open with the token may be filtered by token ID they used for it. So this is a pretty useful tool for investigation, so you can even get their address by IP and find them whenever they are. Okay, getting back to our panel, we investigated the left bar. We can hide it so it won't distract our attention. So what's left? We discussed the chat. Here we also have some notifications archived and new ones. I've got no new. Notification can go from Flaspy News or change log of the forum. And the tools tab can be used to quickly access, for example, if you need documentation or message parameters tool or whatever else we need here, we will explore further. So we can start. So we have explored how physical people, interact with Flaspy through Flaspy.io panel. So if you are, imagine for a second that you're a GPS tracker, how would you enter Flaspy? Of course, you would know it, that you will enter through Flaspy channel. So let's explore what is Flaspy channel. Once again, let's get back to the knowledge base. And knowledge base tells us that a channel is an entry point for messages from tracking devices or other platforms. So it's an entry point. Let's explore some channel and see what it may show us. Channel is protocol specific. In channel, we can specify IP whitelist, so you can reject connections from other IP addresses that your GPS trackers use, for example. For some certain channels, you can specify traffic encryption too. Channel has storage, so it can store messages up to 30 days and up to 10 gigabytes. And channel, here we may see that we have one connection of 2,000 possible connections, which is pretty much. And this is the limitation of how many messages per minute. I've got this personal tracker connected to my channel, so we can explore it. And that's why we have one active connection here. But it may be much more channels. So do you ask, it's only 2,000 simultaneous connection that can be processed by a channel? No, it may be bigger, but it depends on the plan you're using and how we can investigate this restriction or other restriction in the Flaspy pricing page. So for example, we have a start plan. Let's search for connection word, and here we have that active connections per channel are 2,000. And what happens if more? We can click and see that channel will be suspended for 1 minute. But if you need more, you will upgrade to the next plan, which is Pro. And in the Pro plan, your channel can process 20,000 simultaneous connection, which is quite impressive. On the Enterprise, this limit is 50,000. And on the Ultimate, we have 200,000 simultaneous connections. I cannot imagine 200,000 trackers because I asked ChatGPT to estimate how many vehicles are here in Vilnius, and they say that like there are 145,000. So all Vilnius vehicles, if it will be equipped with GPS trackers, guess what will be the manufacturers of these trackers? I will not say because this is not advertisement for some GPS tracking device manufacturer. But anyway, can you imagine 200,000 trackers working through a single channel? That's a bit crazy. If you cannot imagine, I can imagine, because at Flaspy we have also status page. And the status page shows us that there are almost 700,000 devices registered on our platform and more than 4,000 channels. So that was a tangent from the main discussion, just to show you that Flaspy is a high load system, and we are professionals in building high load systems, which are very scalable, which are very reliable. And it means that if you sometimes doubt, oh, I have these 10,000 devices and I have pain with them, so maybe this Flaspy team will not deal with it. We can deal with it because we work right now with 7,000 devices and we can work with much, much more. But if you decide to at some day register a couple millions devices at Flaspy, please leave us a message before, so we will be at least a bit prepared and don't do it on the weekend. Okay. So I forgot what we were talking about. Do you remember what we were talking about? I don't remember. Maybe we were talking about channels, right? So subscribe to this channel, hit like to this button. No, Jan, we were talking not about these channels. Okay, which channels we were talking about? Maybe Telegram channels, because we have several ones. For example, this Telegram channel, which is called Knock. Here we have messages about Flaspy downtime started, downtime ended. Example, the last one was 2 minutes. And the message of what was happening. This message is written by the human, and these messages about downtime start and downtime end are written by robots. Not the robots that you can see at Boston Dynamics video, but the robots that are spread all over the world and check Flaspy availability each minute by some complex test. And if most of the robots detect that Flaspy is not available, automatic message goes to Flaspy Knock Telegram channel, which you may subscribe in Telegram or just view it in the browser to check what's happening. And what channel also we have is Flaspy News, where you might see about this webinar or about some new article in our blog or about new some protocols integrated that you might be interested in. Just welcome, subscribe to this channel too, and get Flaspy News without any delays. Again, what we were talking about, what is our path, where are we going? No one remember except me. So let's get back to our channel. What do we have here? We here have some diagnostic tab from, it is called logs and messages, and it consists of, guess what? You will never know. Logs and messages. So I should better say logs and messages, because logs are in the top and messages are in the bottom. So it allows you to see that something happens with the device. For example, connection was established and device was identified, or device was disconnected, and the messages that device sent. But as I said, channel can process connections from multiple devices. So here there will be a common bucket for all the messages. We explore logs and messages tab later on when we will talk about the devices. Here we have some helpers sections, for example, connections. Here you will see all the thousands devices identified in your channel, and right from here you can create devices, like select some device type and try to create it. Oops, no device created. Why? Because I have already created one. And this means that we navigate to this device to explore it. It's created on the devices tab, and it's shown green because it means that it is connected. So let's open and explore it. This is the main configuration page, like where you can specify the name, the IMEI, and a phone number to use to send SMSs, along with the SMS login, SMS password. Setting pooling interval, which we'll describe later when we talk about settings pooling, and messages TTL and messages rotation size. So one device can handle up to 10 gigabytes of messages, but you will pay for it. So if you don't want your monthly billing to blow up, you may specify, let's say, not more than 50 megabytes of messages, and once this limit is reached, old messages will be deleted and new ones will be created. Or you might even say that I don't need more than 2 weeks of messages. That's also will automatically delete messages older than 2 weeks. Let's explore Info tab. It's pretty interesting too. It has a link to the changelog. Well, this is a changelog for the full protocol. The next and some technical info here about how to connect the device and so on. The next tab is MQTT tab. Quick notion about MQTT: it's event bus that is used by Flashp to handle events, so something live that happen. And right here, for example, when device sends a message, we might see it here at Logs and Messages tab. Like, for example, this is the last message. I click a button to send a message, and in 1 second we receive new messages here. That's okay. And how it works over MQTT. So if we go to Info tab and see this MQTT topic with messages to subscribe to, right from here we can click on the ear button and the application MQTT board will be opened. Let me tune it a little bit. So if we subscribe to this topic, then MQTT client in your browser will subscribe for it, and the new messages will come to this topic once they arrive in the platform. So this is a sandbox for you to experiment with MQTT protocol if you want to use it in your dashboards, or if you want to use it to obtain messages from your server side, for example. And in this MQTT board, you can do some experiments. For example, we may add some subscriber for, let's say, test topic, and add some and subscribe for messages, and add some publisher that will publish some topic for test, and you will receive this message here. So, as I said, a kind of sandbox where you can play around with MQTT protocol. What else can we see at MQTT section? There is a type of section called state. So you can not get only events, new events by device, but also get some information about the device. So for example, if we subscribe for this topic, which is called Flashp state in a tree mode, not in a list mode where all the new messages will appear, but in the tree mode, we'll receive some interesting stuff like all the information about the device. So there will be, for example, separate topic for connected, right? Separate topic for connected. If device disconnects, it will change to false. So you may easily subscribe for new events from the device. Plus is a wildcard mask for one level. So one level of the hierarchy can be replaced with plus, but we can write here this hashtag Octotorp. These are as much as possible levels, so many levels. And if we subscribe to it, we'll see something more. Like, for example, we have here telemetry, the topic, Flashp state, gateway devices, device ID, telemetry, alarm event. So each parameter has its own topic and the last value and the time it was received. It also interesting stuff and interactive stuff to be used. For example, if you create live dashboards. And by the way, you don't need to create new software to build in live dashboards, because we have one. It calls MQTT tiles. I will not show you the details, just to show how it's possible to be, which dashboards can be built, like something like this one with GOSHs, with maps, with some values, or something like this with another GOSH, or you may even send commands from some button. So everything like this dashboard can be built in a mouse click mode without any programming, and then you can embed it into your interface via iframe, because the dashboards can be shared via a single link with the built-in token. So this is just idea that this is there, and if you want to use it in MQTT tiles, you may just click one more button, because our interface is friendly for you, dear Flashp users. Just use it. Okay, let's explore the next tab is parameters. So these are all the parameters, the list of all parameters that can be reported by this protocol. So for example, I know that my personal tracker can report man down alarm if somebody fallen down. So I just write it in the search, and I see that the parameter will be called man down status. It will be Boolean. Its description is man down alarm activated, and ID of the specification of the protocol to use to report it will be 242. So this is the tool to explore message parameters. And of course, the docs opened on the devices tab, where we can run the request directly from the documentation, because our documentation is interactive. So we'll just select the device here, configure the report somehow to give 2 last reports, not from the beginning but from the end. And here we are. Here are some reports, the device connected or something else. Okay, so that's it with the info tab. Let's switch back to the, we've discussed telemetry tab. That telemetry is the last parameter value. For each parameter there will be a separate topic, and here you may also subscribe with MQTT board for it. Another section to discuss is comments and settings. So most of the tabs here are remote configuration. For example, we can set up server or some network or connectivity stuff here. And by clicking the blue arrow, we send new configuration to the device. Wait until device confirms that it have received this configuration. And we can also request the configuration from the device. I think I did something wrong, but that's okay. The idea about this requesting current status, let's do in this way, is that it can be automated. I mean that in the device configuration in edit, we have settings polling once. So once device connects, the settings are synchronized. But we may say, let's do it weekly. And once the update period expires, our system will automatically request new values from the device. Using like the request that is used under this red circle error button. And also from this tab is called comments and settings. So the first tab is comment, and from here we can send comment. And comment can be sent in 2 ways. Let's send get status custom comment, and we may say it send it by adding to the queue. So it's added to the queue. The queue may have many comments, and now we can see that it disappeared from the queue. It was executed successfully. Or we may send it with the timeout period right from this page, like this. You may see the CURL command how to send it. Flash-B device comments, just post without any comments queue, like this. So we send, we wait for several seconds for the response, and the response is given in the same feedback. So in the same response. This will be a separate field that we can analyze in the REST API call response. The timeout are set up under this clock icon, time to leave for comment in the comment queue or timeout for request. All of them are also can be set up in the REST API call. By the way, I have to mention that everything that we now do from UI interface, everything can be done from the API. So if you do something from interface, you for sure can do it from the API. And if you don't know how, just ask us in Flash-B chat, or maybe first try to explore the documentation, because all the features are covered in our Flash-B blog. Okay, now we are finished with the comments. Let's go to logs and messages. Logs and messages is the most useful tab that I always use to debug some problems or explore the messages that my device sent or see the logs. As I said, it consists of logs and messages, and they are interconnected. For example, I can right click on the log and specify show on messages, and my messages will show me according to the time that I clicked on the log right here. So interesting, right? So let's explore what else can we do. So for example, we have just sent get status comment. Here device comment added to queue. Here it was sent. Let's see what had been sent. And by right click, we may select view traffic, and we will be transferred to the page with the traffic where we may click on the event and see exact bytes sent from server to the device. Or let's say we navigate to the traffic not only by the time, but to the whole traffic. And here we might see that was what we sent event get status, right? And then I hold the control button and click the next event to see them both on the same page. So we have the request, the command has been sent, and the response. There are some technical bytes and there are some end technical bytes, but in the middle there will be something that was shown in our response, what we can see in the logs, right here, this data. What else can we do here? This table of messages is an interactive. For example, we don't want this event enum parameter to be present in the table to free some space, so we just click and remove it. Or we don't need rest timestamp to be a column, and we remove it. Or we want it to be get back, and we add it. So you may customize these messages tab according to your needs. And one thing you have to remember about this again is that don't be afraid to use right click, because right click will open some Flaspy context menu, not the context menu of your browser. So let's explore the messages that I have here. You might see that position latitude and position longitude are missing. Because what? Because I'm sitting here in the stream in the building, and my personal tracker is with me, and it cannot capture GPS signal. Of course, I can open the window, raise my hand there, and my tracker will capture some GPS signal, but I cannot leave you alone. So I will stay sitting on my chair, but I can do something more interesting with it, with plugins. So I noticed that in my message, which I can filter right here, I have GSM parameters like channel ID, location area code, mobile country code, and mobile network code, which is quite enough to determine my location based on some location-based service for GSM data. And this is exactly what I'm going to do. This can be done using plugins. As we see in our Flaspy knowledge base, plugins are the key instance in Flaspy responsible for the transformation of the received messages before it departs to the destination. And this is exactly what I need. I need to transform my message to append some position data to it based on the LBS. So let's get back. I can close my device and open plugins tab, but I can click on this wonderful tool, this wonderful button that will open a new instance of my device in the separate tab, just in one click, without so I can use two tabs separately. Navigate to plugins and see some pre-configured plugins that I have. So for example, for this LBS stuff, I just need to create plugin called Violon LBS geocoding. No any setup for that here. Everything that has to be done already configured. So I only need to get I can assign it from here. So I just assign my personal tracker to this plugin, and now all the new messages reported will be equipped with LBS data. But how can I simulate it? For example, I cannot touch my tracker, and I don't need to wait until for the next message to come. I can right click on the message and re-register it in the platform. So it will be registered once again. So the new plugin will be applied. Let's find for the new parameters. Here we go. Position LBS latitude, position LBS longitude. But our system is aimed to position latitude and position longitude without LBS in the middle. And we can change it by using another plugin, which is called rename LBS position to regular position. This plugin has a bit more complex configuration. It is called message expressions. So what does it do? If position valid parameter is false for the message, it means that device cannot capture GPS signal. Only in this case, the message will be processed by this plugin. Then we use expression, which is the same as position LBS latitude, written to parameter position latitude. And just to show you a bit more complex expression, parameter battery full will be the result of the expression battery point level is bigger than 80. So this is a basic Boolean expression. So the result will be Boolean. And what we have to also note here that the priority of this plugin is 9 and the priority of the previous LBS plugin is 10. So at first, the higher the priority, the earlier the plugin will be implemented. So LBS position will be added as the first step. At the second step, the parameters will be checked for position valid and renamed, if any. And everything we need to do is just to assign our device to this plugin and check how it works. Getting back to the device, clicking the button to simulate some messages. And here we go. We have to position latitude, position longitude, and when we have position here in the right bar, which also can be not a right bar but moved around the whole toolbox, we may see the map sign. It shows the same position and LBS position because these parameters are the same. So let's get it to the right because I feel nervous when it's not in the right. I used to this position very much. Don't make me nervous in the stream. Let's get further. Just another option to show you. The next plugin I want to apply will be, like, for example, geofence. So there are many different types of plugins that you may explore all of them here. This is a huge table that even doesn't get into one a screen and one page. So I have a plugin called Gurtam Office Geofence, and its configuration is that I have the type is message geofence. I have a map, I have a point, the circle geofence with 250 meters radius. And if we want to see how it looks like, we may hit this orange curved brackets button. So we may see the full configuration like latitude, longitude, 0.25. And for example, if we want to create another plugin, which will be slightly different from this, we may copy this JSON, create new plugin, click on this orange button, insert the JSON, do some modification. For example, I want 25 meters, very precise, apply JSON, and what we'll see here, much smaller circle, like 10 times smaller circle, right? There are some other ways to do it. For example, right button click is not only used in the logs and messages tab. You may right button click here, for example. You just need to duplicate this plugin. So just right click and click here, and the same stuff will be opened where you can edit it. Okay, and this plugin is based on position, so its priority is even lower than the second plugin that we use. And really, plugin is super cool stuff because you can not only just do some modification that predefined in the platform or request some other data. For example, you may insert address data based on location, so-called reverse geocoding with several types. So once the message will be registered, plugin will go to some third-party service, get address, and inject it in the message. So you will receive it in your platform. But even some pretty cool stuff, like we open our parsing engine to the public with PVM plugin. PVM is our programming language that we developed especially for describing protocols, and we even have a tool to test it. So for example, let's say we have some professional tracker that is installed on a professional hardware on some truck, and it reports some CAN data frame, which is not common for all trucks, and we need to extract some valuable data, like some capacity remaining of some battery, but it has to be in this pretty weird frame, like second and third bytes, and then we have to skip 8 bits, and one more bits will be like door open status or something like that. This is done through PVM. we take this parameter reported, can data frame of this type, translate it into hex mode, then parse it as bits, skip 8 first bits, then 16 will be a 2-byte integer to this parameter, the hashtag means parameter, then we skip 8 bits, and then we 1 byte, we report into door open status, and we remove can data frame from the parameter. And by clicking save and test, it will like do exactly what we need, because like 014A is exactly 330. All right, we can check it in the calculator. 014A is 330 in the decimal system. So you may manipulate even different bits. You know, I think it's a huge power in your hand that you really can use when you face some super special task. But of course, it's pretty complex topic, which we may cover in additional webinar. So you may find voting in the chat for this YouTube video. I don't remember here. Which topic do you want to cover if in the next webinar, if we will have one. So if you're interested in PWM, just leave us a message about it. We may perform another webinar. Okay, so what else do we see in the devices? We can see streams. So right now, one stream to Vialon is assigned for this device. What is stream? The most I like the diagram from article called FLASP message, Basic Information Unit, and it shows the path of the data through FLASP from the device to your solution or some user or some cloud. So device connects to channel. Channel has its buffer and can be accessed via REST API or in a push mode via MQTT. Then it gets to device. Device has its own storage, can be accessed via REST or via MQTT. And then it can get into stream, and stream will push it directly to user level or to third-party system, and so on. So stream is something that pushes data to your system. Not getting to details here. And what else do we have here? Like, for example, groups. This device is not assigned for a group, but group is kind of automation tool. For example, this device is assigned for 3 plugins. Gurtamov give offense too. 3 plugins and 1 stream. So if you want exact the same device or other device to be assigned for exact same streams and plugins, you may create a group that has the same as for personal tracker, 1 stream, 3 plugins, and when you assign another device or create new device and assign it to a group, let's see, it will be automatically assigned for a stream and for plugins that is assigned for this group. So instead of having 4 REST API calls, you may have only 1 assigned to a group, and then the group will do all the automation for you. Okay, so one more stuff in the devices, one more section is calculators. But calculators is pretty complex topic. I've even heard that some parents scare their children with FLASP analytics, like if you will study too hard in the university, you will get to work in Gurtam and you will have a need to understand how FLASP analytics works. But let me try to describe you FLASP analytics in 5 minutes. I'm not sure if I will be able to do it, but at least I will try. And you will also know what are the mysterious numbers are behind my back. And to understand it, I just shift my camera a little bit. So this is just test numbers that I have created to explain FLASP analytics. So our device has time series database. So the upper row is the time that goes forward from past to future. Then we have some parameters, for example, battery and speed that go up and down according to some rules. And we need to extract some business data out of it. For example, I need to know when the battery had been charged, right? So I need to find an interval in this time series where the previous value was less than the next value. And here is what I can find, right? So I can just find this interval. I can find the difference between time. So for the 4 seconds, device had been charged, and get some analytics on top of it. So for the 4 seconds, device has been charged for 33%. Or I can have speed, for example, and see that here is one trip, here is another trip. Or I may say, I want this all be treated as one big trip, and this will be was just a stop in the traffic lights. So again, this is all about the logic on how to split time series data into some valuable data about the intervals. We have to know about the intervals, about the analytics engine, two valuable stuff. First one is called a selector. So selector is the rule that defines if message gets into interval. For example, speed is greater than 0, says that 0 is out of interval and not 0 is inside the interval. Or some more complex analysis, like this goes down, then it's not an interval. This goes up, then it is an interval. This is the first concept to understand. Selector is the rule to understand if the message gets into interval or not. And the second concept to understand is counter. So once we have interval selected, we may have some counter that performs analytics based on interval. So we may say we have this trip. What was the maximum value of battery inside the strip? And counter will analyze all the interval and say 100 was the value you need. Or we may say get from the charging, get first value, get last value, subtract second from the first, and we will get the difference the battery had been charged. So this is pretty basic explanation, and I may show you how it works in the real calculators, but without going too deep into details, because analytics is something very complex that has to be explained in separate webinar. So for example, this battery recharge, as I just explained, will be pretty simply configured like previous battery level is less than battery level, and that's it. That will select all the messages where the battery level is going up. Of course, we have 10 more different checkboxes fields to configure calculator selector, but that's just because it's a complex tool and it has to process very many narrow cases. So this was the first point that I told you, selector. This is the rule to select an interval, and these are the counters. So we may say get parameter from battery level and store it as a start level. It will be first, get it from first message in the interval, and then say in the same way but last will be the end level, and they then subtract one from another, and we will see the overall charge the battery has been charged. And that's it. And then if we assign some device to the interval, it will in live process all the messages, create some intervals, which we can explore by hitting this show intervals button. So we have several intervals, like for example this one, and we may see that the battery level grew from 57 to 70, then it stays 70, that's why interval reduced. And we have many different options on how to tune this interval, so it will merge intervals or split intervals, but the idea is provide you with the processed data, not the raw data reported by the device, but the data that you may build business logic on top of it. I will not go further into the details on how do the calculators work. If you will be interested, we will have a separate webinar on this topic. So this is pretty it. This was all I wanted to show you during this webinar. Also, here will be my favorite header of the webinars if we will have it regularly. So this webinar was about UI. I will today introduce you to one of our UI developers, Zhenya Spitsyn. Wait a second. I will show you a web camera. So this is Andrei. He helped me to manage this translation. And here is our Zhenya Spitsyn. He now plays with his RC car. He is very busy now at the work. Zhenya, hi. Okay. And now let me explore some questions that we have during the chat. If there were some. I think that my colleagues already answered some question in the chat, like for the registering message that will affect published messages. For sure, Alamgir, you can create a telematics tracking platform using Flaspy, and it may be the biggest and the best telematics platform because you will have super reliable backend. And really, Piotr will not let me lie because he already have one. It's really easy. We are testing Flaspy for some time. I'm sorry, I got the voting stuff in my chat. We are testing Flaspy for some time. We are very enthusiastic. It's also possible to trigger a webhook of an external application on a certain threshold of a value of a geofence. Yes, it is possible, and it can be achieved through the webhooks. I may give you a short idea about webhooks too. I've already introduced you to our event system, MQTT-based event system. And this MQTT system can be used to trigger webhooks. So we have to set up the trigger, which will be some certain topic. And we may write a topic like Flaspy message gateway, devices, device ID, and so on, which you can take from the device info tab. Then you may filter it, for example, that the payload with some certain syntax. We may specify that like plugin geofence must be true. Again, this is a pretty simple example. And once this webhook captures the message and the payload adopts the filter, then we can trigger some REST HTTP call to HTTP server or to Flaspy platform. And HTTP server, you can specify URI to trigger the webhook, the body of the webhook, which may be based on the message, some certificate, some headers, and so on. So this is done through webhooks. They had been released for about a month or two ago, so it's a pretty new feature. Experiment with it, and I'm pretty sure you can tune it to satisfy your needs. If you find some troubles, ask us in Flaspy chat. We will try to help you because, as I said, it's a new feature, and ongoing on helping our customers, we supporters understand better what's going on there. Okay, some more questions. Will be more examples in calculators section, like detect some anomaly, like DTC code detection and how long it is. Yeah, and Alexei Shurko answered this. Okay, so I think that's pretty. We have covered all the questions that we planned to cover. So the record of the stream will be available at some time after the stream finished. I'm very thankful for everybody at the stream who watched me for more than 50 minutes, and see you next time. Bye.